Hey everybody, happy Saturday. It's Dr. Bridget Young from babyformulaexpert.com here for a happy hour Q&A. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Dr. Bridget Young. I'm a doctor of perinatal nutrition and a certified lactation counselor and founder of babyformulaexpert.com. This is my youngest son, Vaughn. I'm a single mommy this weekend, so my toddler is literally running around at my feet. You may probably hear or see him pop up in this video. Today, since it's Saturday, we're all in a great mood. Oh, I always forgot, I'd like to tell you that, I'm not joking around. Today I'm enjoying, for happy hour, a wild cider. I think that's the brewery, cidery. It's really good. It's not too sweet for those of you that enjoy cider. But back to business. So today we're going to talk about tips for colic. This is a super popular problem / question. If you are so unlucky as to have a little one that has colic, you've scoured the internet, read a bunch of blogs, and hear the same advice over and over and over again, to the point where it can be beyond frustrating to mind exploding. My first son was very colicky. It was quite a challenge, and I swear if one more person or one more blog was like, have you tried the S's, shushing and swaddling and swinging, I would like to swaddle one of them in the face. It's just like, yes, I have tried all of those. So today I want to give you some new tips. I promise you've never heard some of them before, to try to, in our house called increase your arsenal. Just give you, my husband's an engineer and he always says more tools in the box. The more tools, the better. So we'll try to give you some more tools. Before I do that, to leave you in suspense, I want to tell you that the true definition of colic, despite a lot of people saying, oh, it's GI distress or it's gas, the real medical definition is inexplicable and unconsolable crying for more than 3 hours a day, more than 3 days per week. And I can tell you that my first little guy met this by leaps and bounds. So the funny thing to me is that colic literally means we have no idea what's wrong with your baby. As doctors, we don't like to sound like we're very uninformed, since you are paying us to care for your child. So we have a name for it so that we don't sound so helpless. But doctors and parents often completely feel helpless. So the other thing I want to point out is that everybody always assigns the source of colic to the intestines. This is because babies have a lot of gas, they have a lot of spit up. All this is normal, but if your child seems in discomfort, it's easy to put blame there. And it's also something that we feel like we have a little bit of control over because we're in charge of the feeding. That being said, I think a lot of source of colic for a lot of infants is the intestines, because they have to work for the first time when they come out of the womb. But just know that it may not be the intestines, and like I said, we don't know what it is. The good news is every baby outgrows colic, usually around 3 months or so. You will survive this. It will get better. Until then, here's some tips that you haven't heard before. I have a little cheat sheet here so I don't forget. Okay. The first tip is, if you have not already and your baby exhibits signs of colic or even less, just general inexplicable discomfort, start a probiotic. Even if you're breastfeeding, the only, and I repeat, only medical research that actually has shown an improvement with colic with any technique or medication is a probiotic, specifically the bacterial strain Lactobacillus reuteri. You don't really need to know the specific strain. You just need to know that as a doctor, I like to recommend things that are research-based. This is the only recommendation I have because it's the only research we have that has actually shown an improvement. Lactobacillus reuteri is the bacteria again, and this is the bacteria that Gerber sells Gerber Soothe probiotic drops. They're just like vitamin D drops, and you add them to the bottle, or if you're nursing or breastfeeding at the breast exclusively, you can drop it right into the baby's mouth or put a drop on your nipple before you nurse. Use the dosage recommended. The only important thing to note is that according to the research that has been done, you need to give it a minimum of 7 days, but more likely a few weeks for it to really help. It's not going to help every case. If your infant's source of colic is a dysbiosis, we call it, or basically the bacteria gone a little funky in the intestines, this will help, and it's worth a shot because it's perfectly safe. It will not work unless you are consistent and you do it every single day. So don't waste your money if you're not going to be able to remember every day. But they're pretty cheap. So Gerber Soothe drops, the probiotic or bacteria that's in Gerber Soothe drops is the same that's in Gerber Soothe formula. So if you're feeding that formula, you've already got this covered. Okay, next. Ooh, this one is a little bit cheating. You've probably heard it a little bit before. I mean, some people recommend going up and down the stairs with your baby. I purchased this on Amazon on Prime to have it shipped next day with my first son. Oh my God. Oh, it's so much heavier than I thought. It is a portable stair stepper. And for my first boy, it lived in our living room, right in the middle of the living room. No joke. Because when he was screaming, it would calm him. Now I gotta emphasize, I have Vaughn here to try to demonstrate as my model. He's 5 months old, so a few of these tricks might make him a little mad, so just bear with me. When you are on the stair stepper or going up the stairs, I think it is very important to hold the baby very loosely and really give in to the sway of the motion. That's what they find calming. So if you're holding him like this, oh, he's not gonna like it. And you're stepping, really allow yourself to go back and forth. Showing my arm. Usually it's another way to get that swinging motion without having to cart the car seat around. God, that thing is awkward to hold out here. And it lets you get a little exercise. My husband and I literally would have dates when we would take turns being on the stair stepper throughout an entire movie with my first kid. I was in much better shape back then. All the stair stepping. Okay, get a stair stepper. You can get one on Amazon literally for 25, 30 bucks. If you have Prime, it'll be there in 2 days. It works so well for us, I would have paid 3 times that much. Do not tell people at Amazon that. Okay, the next is a variation on the shush. Like I said, if one more person told me, have you tried shushing in their ear? I wanted to slap them in their face. I didn't. I tried to maintain my calm most times. You're Petey. But instead of trying just shh, you're going to feel a little bit stupid, but if it works, you're going to be great. Try, Petey, sweetheart, why don't you come in here if you're upset? Variations on the shushing. So use different frequencies like shh, 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 or ch, 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 ch. I can't tell you why. Maybe one sounds more like your heartbeat than another, but I swear every once in a while, it'll work and you'll hit a little pattern that they like. You'll probably end up doing it for 10 minutes or so. But if you have a colicky child and you find something like that calms them, you don't mind doing that for 10 minutes. So try variations on the shushing noise instead of just a continual shh. And you'd be surprised that your baby may particularly find one soothing over another. Give it a shot. It's worth it. It's free. Okay, the next is what I call the elevator. I'm going to have to move this. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I tried picking that up with one hand. Woo! The elevator. I have to move the camera so we can sit down and you can see. Here we go, Vaughn and me. Come on, baby. All right, I'm going to point this down and hopefully you can see me. Try this if the baby is screaming. Again, your baby is probably younger than him, so he's got great head support now, so of course support your baby's head. But I'm literally just going to put him in my arms like this. Ooh, he's long too. Your baby will be shorter like this. And try up and down like this. It looks really funny. But, you would think that's fun, huh? A lot of little babies find this calming if they're screaming. My medical theory is that if your kiddo's source of colic is GI distress or gas that's not moving, that's a new motion. There we go. That's a new motion that's going to help. Oh my goodness. I just popped my camera out. Let me hold it for a second. That's a new motion that's going to help bubbles be able to move up or down, whichever direction they need to be moving. So again, these are all free. Give them a shot. If they work, awesome. If not, try the next one and move on, mama. Put in some earplugs. Okay. The next are two that I actually have to give credit to my mother, who is a baby whisperer. How she, with our first kid, was so helpful and was like, oh, try this. And I was like, she's so crazy. What is she doing? But I swear it works. Both of these are techniques that are going to help if your baby's source of colic is stomach cramping or excess gas. So I'm going to need my arm back, so bear with me. I'm going to put the baby down and snap the phone back into the tripod. There you go. All right. Okay. Hello, Angel. All right. So if you're holding your child, again, he'll be smaller, but you're going to be doing most holds like this. It's going to be to do the, he hates this now, this hold. I'm going to explain it to you and then do it. You're going to do a rock or a bounce. Hold on, here you go. Poor parenting, just shove a pacifier in. You're going to do a rock or a bounce, but you're going to try to make your arms as limp as possible. Still supporting the baby, of course, but if you make your arms really limp, it's going to allow the baby to bounce more naturally instead of being so rigidly supported by your arms. And again, the whole idea is a natural, gentle jostle is going to help the baby. The goal is to help the baby relax and give the air bubbles a little bit of jostle so they begin to move and stop causing discomfort. So a way that I do this to help myself remember is I actually literally let my wrists, my hands at the wrist go limp, and that will remind you to relax. So you're going to have the baby like this. Ignore his crying. I'm sorry, Angel. Relax your arms and kind of jostle this way. That's nice, isn't it? I told you. It just allows the natural bounce of your body to be felt more. So again, if you're sure their head is supported, it's just more, it's more, I don't know, this is like my mom. I was like, you're so crazy, but I swear it works. Sweetheart, you're fine. Okay, the next variation on that, I'm actually not going to do, well, I might try. It's pretty hot here. I'm going to tell you, it's the same idea. If your baby is wrapped in a blanket, instead of you rocking them, take a corner of the blanket and pull like this so the baby's kind of rolled gently inside. It's the exact same idea where you're giving the baby natural bouncing without the rigidness of your arms. It's going to, I think I'm going to say the other part that is relaxing for this is it forces you to relax. And if you are relaxed, the baby will be more likely to relax. So if the baby is wrapped up like this, instead of bouncing, take the blanket on a corner and pull it a little bit. That's nice. Oh, did you hear him? That's nice, isn't it? Yeah. It could just, again, causes a very gentle, natural rock, and it helps them relax, and that's the combination of the baby relaxing plus the rocking motion is going to help some of that gas move, and if that's what's causing the screaming, it will help. Okay, the very last one is my favorite because it's so easy but so effective for so many things, and that is simply to hum. It's hard when your baby is screaming, but while you are trying all these techniques, or even if you're just trying to snuggle your baby on your chest, hum to your child. Sing a song, but hum it. And this works potentially for several reasons. One, it's going to cause a more intense vibration, and babies find that very calming. I also think when you hum, it sounds more like, give me 1 second, I'm going to go get, what is wrong, sweetie? Come here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you were coming back. Sorry, everybody. Okay. When you hum, I'm just picking right up, it causes an intense vibration that babies find calming, and it also, in my opinion, sounds more like your voice would sound in the womb. So your voice in the womb sounds muffled to your child, of course, and so that is calming to them, again, to remind them of being in the womb. And lastly, humming will calm you down. It's very hard for you to be super tense and panicked when you're humming, and babies are very intuitive to emotion. So the combination of those things will often help to calm the baby. No, that is not for you. I'm not going to share my cider with you. I'm sorry. So try humming in combination or alone with any of those other tips. Petey, you are okay. So, I hope all of those were new and again, give you more tools in your toolbox to be able to use when your baby is screaming inconsolably. And then the other joke we always make in our house is that having a colicky baby is like fighting the Borg. If you don't get that reference, you're way cooler than I am. But basically it just means infants change from every single day to the next. They are different beings. So what worked yesterday will not necessarily work tomorrow. But the positive thing is what he hated yesterday, he may love tomorrow. So put all these new tips into your repertoire and then you can just cycle through them and keep trying. And the goal is to just survive this until the colic passes or you figure out what's causing it and you can have it addressed. It will get better. It is temporary. You are doing an awesome job. So I'm going to do, for those of you who are joining late, I'm going to go through a quick summary of each of them again, and then we'll wrap up. We have the rest of our cocktails to enjoy. My cheat sheet here. The first is a probiotic, specifically the only one that has been shown in medical research to improve symptoms of colic is Lactobacillus reuteri. You don't need to know that. What you do need to know is it's the probiotic that's in Gerber Soothe drops. If you are feeding Gerber Soothe formula, it's already in the formula. If not, you can buy the drops anywhere, but even on Amazon, they're really cheap, and you give them like vitamin D drops. You have to be consistent, and you have to do it for a minimum of 1 to 2 weeks before you would potentially see an effect. So stick with it and be patient. Next is a stair stepper. I'm not going to pick up that heavy thing again. Oh my God. You can buy a portable stair stepper. I got mine on Amazon. I think it was $30. I think I got that hot pink one because I think it was $5 cheaper. But they run $35 to $40-ish, I think. And again, remember to embrace the movement, and it helps you get that swinging motion without having to cart around the car seat. 3, change up the pattern of your shushing. Instead of just shh into your infant's ear, try different patterns, like pretend you're doing Morse code, and you'd be surprised one of them may really click with your baby. So or you do whatever you want, but you know, changing up a little bit of the pattern instead of a constant tone. Some babies really like that. I think it's because it's more mimicking of a heartbeat. 4, try the elevator, cupping your baby's hand. Let's see if we can do a little strumming up. Cupping your baby's head in your hands. My baby is much older. No, he's not going to go for it. And then going up and down like this, very slowly and gently. This can often help move finicky air bubbles that can cause pretty intense pain. Oh, 5 and 6, relaxed, gentle jostling. So when you're holding your baby in a cradle, make a very good point to relax all the muscles in your hand below your wrist and then jostle kind of like this. It helps the baby calm down, and it will, all the gentle rocking will also help move air bubbles. Same thing if you have a winter baby and you're always in blankets. When your baby's in your arm, with your other arm, take a corner of the blanket and move it up and down, and this will cause the baby inside to rock back and forth very gently, but again, supported by the blanket and not your arm, and that's just a more gentle, natural rock, and you'd be surprised how much they enjoy that more than you just bouncing. My husband is a bouncer, so we had all these tricks in our repertoire. Okay, and the last one, humming. Try humming. Babies love it. Like sing a song and hum so you have a little variation in your tone. It sounds more like your voice sounded in the womb. It causes a nice vibration in your chest if you have your baby here, if you're cuddling them like that. They really enjoy that vibration. And then most importantly, it calms you. And your baby is not going to calm down if you are super tense, and I get it. The screaming child is very stressful, especially for moms. So this is a nice way to try to force, bring out your inner Zen without, having to meditate. And then my husband also likes to point out that he was a huge fan of earplugs. If you have an earplugs and you're humming, you hear your own voice in your head, and that really drowns out. If you've got a high-pitched screamer, you know who you are. It's particularly awful. It takes the edge off that high-pitched scream so that you can think more clearly. And remember all these other tips to try. So I hope some of those are helpful for you. Having a fussy little one is really one of the worst things in the world. I want to emphasize again, it is temporary. Your baby will get over it, and you are doing a phenomenal job. So keep it up. Your love is all they need to be healthy, and they will outgrow this. So if you liked this video, please click like, and I'd love you on my Facebook page that you can see, click the sign up button, and that will take you to my website and put you on our email list. So when I come out with free resources like a list of new colic tips to try, you'll get them sent to your inbox. And we're trying to do this every week to have a happy hour Q&A. It's super fun to share a cocktail with all of you moms. So if you have other questions you'd like me to answer, send them to me any way you want. You can do it on Facebook. You can go over to the website and send me an email. I'm on Twitter at BabyFormExpert. So get me your questions and I'll get them answered. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, Mama. You're doing a great job. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.